Welcome to LC Screen Talk. My name is Larry, and this is my review of Rambo: Last Blood. It's the only bandana I can find. I know I'm giving off Karate Kid vibes rather than Rambo vibes, but it is what it is. Rambo: Last Blood follows John Rambo long after the events of our last adventure, this time as he looks after his niece, who decides to go down to Mexico. Unfortunately, her trip below the border doesn't go as planned, and the Rambo we know must reemerge. I have to admit, I've seen the first couple of Rambo films. However, I've never been like a huge Rambo fan. They're enjoyable. It's like quintessential 80s action film. And obviously it's iconic for what it is. But I certainly wasn't really looking for yet another Rambo film in the movie theater. It's always nice to see Sylvester Stallone come back and do some work. It worked to great effect in the Creed films, and I think maybe he was hoping to really capitalize on that yet again with his other highly iconic character. The difference is, this time he's staying in the titular action hero role rather than taking more of a mentor position. And it's okay. This was a kind of mediocre film. It's not terrible. It's not really that good. It just is. So let's go ahead and talk about the positives first. Well, I actually do think Sylvester Stallone is quite good in the film. He captures the feel and the atmosphere of Rambo. Of course, with what's gone on with his face throughout his career, unfortunately, he can't emote quite the best. But many would argue he never was able to emote all that much anyway. But there's a real sense of humanity to go on with the badassery, a nice balance of old man and I still got it in there as well. And I just thought his performance across all levels really worked. And this film definitely gets fun when it gets into the action. You definitely feel like older Rambo, but older Rambo still kicking ass. So there's that. Whether it's like full-on hand v hand type of combat, or he's up to some like tricks, which obviously is very reminiscent of the older Rambo films and kind of MacGyvering and ambushing and all of that kind of crazy jazz. The second half of the film really plays up to that. We get these gruesome action sets. We get some really creative type of kills. And it just worked for me. I was having a lot of fun when we were finally able to just let loose and be an action film. And obviously it stayed true to the character of Rambo. What he's always kind of stood for, how he's always been. I really enjoyed the kind of development they input for his character here. Everything to do with the central character worked pretty well for me, actually. However, that's where my positives end. And that leads us right into everything that doesn't work so well when it comes to Last Blood. Well, the first half of the film is so generic. We have seen this Mexican cartel, Mexican like prostitution rings, all of that type of thing in Mexico over and over and over again. And this was no better. It was not worse, but it just was so bland. I'm so tired of this, to be honest. Unless you're going to tell a really compelling story, I'm ready for people to leave the cartel alone for a little bit. I'm ready to let them leave, like, the Mexican prostitution rings alone for a little bit. Come up with a script that gives us something new, gives us something deeper, explores the issue, maybe gives some sort of idea at how to help and what solutions that maybe folks could partake in. Otherwise, just let it be for a sec. Find somewhere else that's not Russia or the Middle East to set your conflicts in. Hint, there's lots of drugs here in the United States. Believe it or not, most of the big ballers and defenders here in our home country are not actually brown folks. But it was just so generic, and the movie at large is not shot very well. Actually, on a technical level across the board, it's pretty subpar overall. It seems the budget was really small. I didn't have a chance to look it up, but a lot of the CG work was not great. In particular, the green screen, when it is there, is horribly noticeable. And the first half drags because we don't really engage with these characters. Everybody outside of Rambo himself gets zero development. This movie is short. It is lean and mean. There is no time for anything like a good script or fleshing out the story that we've put through or characters being developed or given any sort of dialogue. The script isn't all that great, and that's the characters suffer, and the audience, you start to get pretty bored about halfway through the film until we finally kick into just some mindless, gory action. And then with that script, the dialogue is not good, like, at all. We play into every trope imaginable. I've already mentioned all the stuff about the cartel and the prostitution and all that, but we play into all of the old man action-y tropes. We play into the bad guy tropes. We play into the overprotective father figure tropes, all of them. Every trope you can think that could be in a film like Rambo Last Blood is probably there. So overall, I thought this was an okay time at the movies. It's a little bit hard to recommend though, because if you're going in looking for just kind of like dumb, mindless Rambo action, you have to wade through the first like 40 minutes of the film to get to it. But once you get there, it's fun, especially if you're someone from a little bit of an older generation and maybe you can relate to Rambo on a lot of levels. I'd say give this maybe a matinee. If you're looking for something deeper, however, you can skip this one altogether. And certainly if you've never been a fan of Rambo or you've never watched any of the Rambo films, this one is not the one to turn you on to the franchise. So go and just watch the original. So that is my review of Rambo Last Blood. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead, click like down below and subscribe to the channel so you are always up to date on our latest videos. Also, join in on the discussion. Are you excited to see Rambo Last Blood? Or have you already seen it? If you have, let me know your thoughts either in the comment section down below or hit me up on Twitter. I love you all so much for your continued support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!